Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back. 1962 Ford custom cab, four-wheel drive, 8-lug, Dana axles, utility truck. Now we just had our Ford hero out here, my man Dave, and he is from the era of these trucks. Just if you guys don't know, he's in his 70s, working hard for me, a Ford technician for over 40 years. He's seen a lot, but he doesn't know what motor that is. So 292 or 312. But check it out. Pretty interesting. I know I've seen this before because I know this motor also comes in Thunderbirds and a couple of the other Ford products from that era. But the manifold goes forward like a turbo car. So I guess if you wanted to put a turbo on this, it'd be a pretty easy install. Across the motor to this manifold and then out. I'd never looked that closely at it. When I looked at it, I said, that's just a crossover tube. But this manifold here does not exit the car. It comes through here, across here, catches this manifold and goes down. So it's pretty cool. It's very original. Now, I don't know a lot about this truck. I bought it from a private collection. The guy had it in the background of a picture of another vehicle I bought, and then sent it to me and said, hey, you interested? And I was like, absolutely, gotta have it. It had some type of a tow apparatus up front here, which could be towed behind a vehicle because of the fact it's got a transfer case that you can put in neutral, and it's a 4-speed manual. You can put it in neutral. Pretty cool setup. Seems to operate really good. I wouldn't say jump in this thing and drive it across the country, but I guess if you want to, you can. BF Goodrich tires, very error correct with the no hubcaps. Looks like the rear wheels are slightly wider than the fronts, which is pretty cool. Gives it a neat stagger. I think the fronts are probably 8s and the rears are 10s. You could put some hubcaps on it and do what you want, but it looks really cool. But the neatest part about this, because of the fact we sell so many commercial vehicles, this right here would be the ultimate park in front of your business if you're a plumber, electrical contractor, excavation company, whatever, because obviously that bed was not born on this truck. That's a newer style utility bed, but it matches up well. The color's been done well. You probably can't see it in the pictures, but this is actually Linexed for protection. So it's not smooth. Just wanted to point that out, and you might not notice that. But the chrome, the trim, the stainless is all here. The truck seems pretty solid. I'm sure it's had some body work. I'm sure it's, obviously we know it's been painted because it was gray. You can see the original gray under here. But even the firewall, the areas that trap, this truck probably sat somewhere for ages and ages. The areas that trap leaves and debris that are usually rotting out, like those lines right there, are not. So that's pretty cool. Under the hood is super basic, like one little control box for the ignition, a couple wires, a coil, a starter, a solenoid, and that's it. These things are so freaking primitive, it's not funny. Leaf spring suspension, so if you wanted to lift it, you could. That would also be pretty cool. But again, picture a logo of an old service station or an old excavation company or dirt moving company, gold mine, whatever you want. I mean, you could put it on the side right there, still ride it, still move it around, but at the end of the day, you'd have a landmark, Oh my gosh. Did you ever see ABC's construction company? It's right there where that cream, what do you call that? Coral, that's what I was looking for. Coral colored truck, all looking cool or whatever, but it's kind of a teal, white top, the white wheels, it goes together. The truck just pops. Truck's gonna be affordable, 25 grand. So now you gotta put the crap in there because I said the price, but $25,000 for this truck. If it had the regular pickup bed, which we had one of these with the regular pickup bed, I think we sold it for 45 or 50. Now it was a fire truck with very low miles, but it was a pickup bedded truck. It went for silly money. And then I don't know if we resold it again for the customer. It's one of our good customers that swaps and changes vehicles all the time. And matter of fact, we may have sold it twice, but it brought crazy money. It was a very high-end truck, but it wasn't usable like this one is. This one you could actually put some stuff in it. Oh, wow. I hadn't opened the boxes yet. They actually line nexed inside the boxes. That's pretty cool as well. So that's well protected. LED lights, license plate light. Pretty neat truck. Again, it just arrived, so I hadn't had a chance to go over it real quickly. Christian and Dylan have been over here, and then I had Dave stick his head in on it to check the motor, because I was hoping to be able to say some exact information, but unfortunately we're not. Color of the seat's a little off. This is a little different color, but Christian, our expert of interior, said that probably couldn't get the exact color because that's about as close to a match as you're gonna get. But nice, what, tweed? Yeah. Tweed there, wrapped with some leather. That's just been done. Get your suicide knob on the dash, which you'll need to steer, and shifter for 4x4, shifter for the manual. Did the gauges work?
Yeah, they did.
Okay, cool. Gauges work. So that's good news, but pretty solid. You look at the bottoms of the doors. I mean, the things that you can look at, you know, and see. It's had a little patch panel right in here, which doesn't surprise me, but the doors are pretty solid. Overall, cool truck. So we're going to send it in the shop. We're going to service and inspect it, do our normal thing. So premature on the price. That price is like you see it currently. If we get into the shop and we do have to do things, we're going to do them, but it could affect the price. As always, you know, if I spend a couple $100, no big deal. If I spend a couple $1,000, big deal. Going to change the price. So we'll get it in, we'll service it, we'll inspect it, we'll go over it, we'll drive it a little more. Maybe we can do a few more videos with it. It's not gushing any fluids out. It's sitting on the pavement or the concrete that I do not like to have stains on, and it still ends up getting stains on it. So thankfully it ain't gushing out anything, so that's good news. Pretty solid truck, guys. What do you think, Christian, my Ford man?
I like it. I actually like the utility bed.
I think so. Dave said, oh, you should find a regular bed. Okay, Dave, find us a regular bed, please. Get that for me today. You probably just run down the street and find one, I guess. So if you could find that, please get it for me. I'd love to have it because it would double the value of the truck. But in all reality, I think it's cool the way it is. Like, I don't know that I would have paid much attention to it because, one, the price would be tremendously different, especially for an old 4x4 Ford. You guys know we pull out all the stops on the square body Chevys, but they're 70s and 80s. This is a 1962. If this was a 1962 Chevy, I can assure you guys we would not be selling it because it would match my father's 62 Chevy sitting in there on the rack in the showroom. We love the 60s model Chevrolets, but you don't find them, not at all. You especially don't find them in 4x4. 4x4 was very rare, and I remember asking my dad because we converted his 62 Chevy to 4x4 in our original grandfather's shop, but I don't think 4x4 was very common at all. Military, mostly military, some special use for like VDOT and government agencies, but you very, very rarely saw a 4x4. So that's a pretty rare combination on that truck. And it does have some updated shocks, a few other things that I noticed. Did you do the underside in the fender wells? It was pretty solid on the frame. I mean, it's really nothing that I'm scared of on this truck. It's actually a pretty solid piece. So I think we got a good one. I think somebody's will get a good, enjoyable, super affordable truck. Half the time trucks of this price point don't even move or run, or they're full of cancer. So to find this one in this condition, I'm pretty cool with it. I think it's great. I think somebody else is going to love it. We'll get it on the website today, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. Thanks for watching. All right, so we just took this thing for a quick spin around the block and noticed one thing. I'm going to take the camera and show you guys. Couldn't fail to tell you guys about this. Divorced transfer case. So comes out of the manual transmission with a short intermediate shaft to a divorced transfer case. So what makes that cool is drive shaft angles for a lifted truck, if you wanted to go big with this vehicle, would be pretty cool because you'd have your intermediate shaft going there, then you could go with some custom drive shafts down to the differential. Divorced transfer case was a really cool addition. You can see it's a Dana Spicer. It does have the Dana rear and Dana rear. So pretty cool. And the undercarriage of the truck is reasonably solid as well. But just wanted to add that little tidbit after driving it, noticing that. It's pretty neat and definitely a cool feature on these older Fords.